I don't care if you young, old, just coming out, coming back out. The record. If you ain't got that record, always about the record. Peace, everyone. Welcome to the Tim King Live Show. I'm your host, Timbo King. We got special invited guests, super producer, Vinny Idol from the Bronx, King of Beatz, D-Block's very own Vinny Idol.
Yeah, what's going on,
What's
brother?
up, my brother? How you doing, man?
I'm ready, man.
Everything great?
Yeah,
Yo,
wonderful.
man, I know traffic getting down here was crazy and shit, you know?
Real crazy.
So how's everything? Everything's good, man?
Good, man. Just trying to
I know
work.
you've been cooking up them beats, man. No, I've been hearing about you on them streets, Vinny, man. King of Beatz, man. Vinny Idol. What's good with you, man?
That's what I'm trying to do, man. Just stay on top of it. That's it.
So what you doing right now, Vinny Idol, man? You've been around, man. Tell your story, man. Tell your story. This is the platform for you right now.
Man, basically, I'm in-house at D-Block. You know what I'm saying?
How long you been doing that?
I mean, that's maybe about since 07, 06. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like we was doing that. But, I was always just doing records, man. Especially in the hood. We was pressing up wax back then, so...
So before Locks turned into D-Block, was you doing music for Locks at the time too, or just the
Nah. Soon as once they started the D-Block movement, I was right there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you always knew Stylist, Sheik, Luke, and Jadakiss.
But Super Mario brought me into the loop because he was doing everything and working it out.
Super Mario, he's from the Bronx, Yonkers.
Yes, he's from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx.
Okay.
Bronx, yeah.
So he used to manage you, and then that's how you got connected to. Stylist P.
Exactly, yes.
So who was the first ones that you worked with out of Stylist P? As them a whole?
Yeah, whole, because the first record was on the K. Slater Street Sweepers that we did on Columbia. You know what I'm saying? So, that was the first one, them as a whole.
Okay, was it a sample track? Was it an instrumental that you played or instruments that you played on?
It was definitely a sample, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a Donna Summer
play
sample.
Instruments? You play instruments?
Yeah.
How many instruments you play?
I played drums, I played bass, a little bit of keys.
Okay.
Fill with everything else to make it happen.
So how do you feel about sampling music or playing music?
I mean, I'm with both. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but sometimes you just got to mesh the two together. Kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just a time and place for everything. Some joints you can't do a sample for a genre of the music because it's not going to work. So, you just got to know when's the time and place to throw it in.
So what made you want to become a producer? What was your passion? What made you want to become a producer? Was it growing up in your neighborhood or coming from your family or somebody?
Well, it definitely came from a family member. You know what I'm saying? From Davey DMX. That's like my cousin. So he was doing records.
Let's get this right, people. Davey DMX. This is the Bronx, right? You talking about the record?
He's from Queens, yeah.
Oh, he's from Queens?
Yes.
Okay, correction. Davey DMX is from Queens, not the Bronx.
Yeah, from Hollis. Yep, he's from Hollis, Queens. He did a lot of Run DMC records. Spoonie G, a lot of the old school,
What he did, the production?
Yeah, production, yeah. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Discography's crazy.
Okay.
Beastie Boys, Houdini, everybody,
All right, so he was like your mentor at the time?
Yeah. He was both. You know what I'm saying? Mentor and influence.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was the oldest grand, so he always taking me under the wing. I'd be in the crib in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah. And he had a big studio in his basement anyway. So I'd be left down there playing with drum machines and everything.
Okay. So do you prefer the artist personally, or he can send you vocals to do a track, or how do you mesh that out? How do you figure that out?
Well, now it's with the times now. That's the times is they're gonna send you the vocals, but I mean, I'd rather get a relationship with the artist because it makes it a little bit better than me shooting you 10 tracks email and you don't like none of the 10. Okay. And then you come and see me, I just play something quick 5 minutes and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a better marriage when you're there personally?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Way better marriage.
So back to the David DMX. So when he taught you to produce?
Yeah, I actually taught myself. I just watched, you know what I'm saying, and just took, but I taught myself. I didn't have no manual, no nothing. Like I said, they just put me in front of the machines. You know what I'm saying?
What was the first machine he put you in front of?
The DMX, the Oberheim, and that didn't have no sampler on it. That was his drums.
Okay.
So you had to trigger that with the the S1000s or 900 S900s and all that. Yeah, so I was around then in the SP12s and all that. So that was all in front of me. MPC 60 before they even came out with the rest of them, the 3000 and everything else. So I was already in front of those machines.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're a drum programmer yourself, or you?
Yeah, definitely drum program. I'm a drummer too. I still play drums, and on Sundays in church.
Okay.
So
So you have a church background with your family?
Yeah.
So you're Vinny out of you're Caribbean, right, man?
Nah, I'm Yankee. Everybody thinks I'm Caribbean because of the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's all we grew up under as, little youths,
Okay. So you do reggae music too, right?
Yeah, I do everything.
So what artists did you produce? So let the people know that.
Well, Sizzler, definitely. I had a joint with
Big up to
Sizzler. You know what I'm saying? We did a joint with Capleton before. So what was the joint, man? Stack we did with the Morgan Heritage dudes, man.
Morgan Heritage out of Bushwick,
with
Brooklyn.
Stack, with Stack and Dollar. We did
Classic.
a joint with them. That's just on the reggae side. But I mean, everybody, you go to the bios, Red Meth, Fred the God, everybody that's out. You know what I'm saying? G Unit, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Murder, everybody I got, records.
Did anybody ever get at you on some sample clearance? Or like, yo, Vinny, yo, man, you use my sample, you ain't get at me, yo. I'm stopping your record, I'm cease and desist. You ever had that problem?
Nah, because everything was already cleared. Like, I mean, when you working with this paperwork, especially with these majors, all of that has to be in the bag when your paperwork is coming. You know what I'm saying? If you know that might even slow down your check. So, you know what I mean? All that information you got to have on board already. So they take care of that. Like, that's all in the paperwork. You know what I'm saying?
So you mean the attorneys or your managers?
Yeah, the attorneys, it'll go back and forth from the attorney. You know what I'm saying?
You ever had a long debate about a sample that you really wanted it and that artist just wanted it and you couldn't put it out at the time because you had to wait through clearance? Or was it a long process?
Well, we had a long process, even with the locks. With the last album, he was going to have 2 joints. One was the Ozzy Brothers joint, and I forgot the other sample, but they wanted 100% of the song, period. And they wanted a bag. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of like threw off 2 of the songs I was supposed to have on that, you know what I'm saying? America the Beautiful Locks album, you know what I'm saying?
So basically, if y'all would have gave them all that rights,
you wouldn't get nothing. Like,
wow.
We just
so
did
what's
it
the
for
use
free.
of doing the record for if you want to?
That's why I didn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't make it.
And that
like
was the Locks record, the American?
Yeah, America Beautiful. Yeah, I was supposed to be on there, you know what I'm saying?
That was crazy. I loved that album too.
Yeah.
Did you go on tour with the Locks? Did you ever go on tour with
the Locks? I mean, I had before, but I'd rather stay in the lab now.
Okay. So your studio is a full production studio? Do you have A room, B room, C room?
I got an A room and a B room, conference room, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A little lounge in there and, full production.
So what's the name of your production?
It's on 50 West Studios, but my production just straight up idolized, man. Vinny Idol,
music.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
I said idolized music, man.
So do you have any artists? Do you freelance artists or you just a straight 100% producer?
Well, yeah, I'm 100% producer, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, there's groups,
Because you got producers that have producers under them.
Yeah. Nah, I don't have any under me, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I'm not being funny style, but I ain't really find nobody I can really mesh with because I could do it all. Like, I mean, not to be funny, you know what I'm saying? I don't need somebody to play a melody unless it's too crazy. And definitely don't need nobody to do drums for me because, you know what I'm saying? And the sample that I buy records every day. So it's like, what you gonna tell? You know what I'm saying? It's like, unless it's something else, adding effects to it, all these new stuff like that, I'll get that and then suck up the information and then I'm good to go.
Out of production, what's your weapon of choice? What you use, equipment-wise?
Well, I'm with it. I'm with everything, hardware and software, man. MPC, Logic, you know what I'm saying? Renaissance, definitely.
We're going to go to a commercial break right now, Vinny. So stay in tune. It's the Tim King Live Show.
Yeah.
And action.
I believe in a breast cancer-free world. While we're on this search for a cure, the hope is to eradicate this issue. It really has to start with the individual. We know our own bodies. Just take the time to pay attention to what it's telling you. I have an ability to affect the quality of my life, then I should.
So take one small step. Go to mylifetime.com to get informed and involved.
Join me with Lifetime to stop breast cancer for life.
They said half a hit of E would be fun. They said half a hit of E would be fun. They lied. Find out the truth about drugs. Drugfreeworld.org.
Nice
nice shirt.
What's up, y'all? I'm Timbo King with a brand new TV show called Timbo King Live, the visual podcast. I need y'all to go on YouTube, subscribe. I need y'all to look up all the episodes. Season 1, Timbo King Live. Stay in tune.
My name is Sean Cole. Welcome to my humble abode. Let me give you a tour of my home. That's Timothy, my butler. All this is motivational use only now. You know, this is the lifestyle. But back to giving you a tour. You gotta have Ciroc, summer colada towels today. Sit back, watch the sunset. Traveling mate, Cody, travels with me everywhere, and it's just happy. Happy also likes Blue Dot. I'm gonna be back, and I'll show y'all the rest of the back. I'm gonna get changed right now. See y'all in a minute.
In 1986, when I was coming of age, Ronald Reagan doubled down on the war on drugs that had been started by Richard Nixon in 1971. Drugs were bad, fried your brain, and drug dealers were monsters. The sole reason neighborhoods and major cities were failing. No one wanted to talk about Reaganomics and the ending of social safety nets, the defunding of schools and the loss of jobs in cities across America. Young men like me who hustled became the sole villain, and drug addicts lacked moral fortitude. In the 1990s, incarceration rates in the U.S. blew up. Today, we imprison more people than any other country in the world. China, Russia, Iran, Cuba. All countries we consider autocratic and repressive. Yeah, more than them. Judges' hands were tied by tough on crime laws, and they were forced to hand out mandatory life sentences for simple possession and low-level drug sales. My home state of New York started this with Rockefeller laws. Then the feds made distinctions between people who sold powder cocaine and crack cocaine, even though they were the same drug. Only difference is how you take it. And even though white people used and sold crack more than black people, somehow it was black people who went to prison. The media ignored actual data to this day. Crack is still talked about as a black problem. The NYPD raided our Brooklyn neighborhoods while Manhattan bankers openly used coke with impunity. The war on drugs exploded the U.S. prison population, disproportionately locking away black and Latinos. Our prison population grew more than 900%. When the war on drugs began in 1971, our prison population was 200,000. Today it is over 2 million. Long after the crack era ended, we continued our war on drugs. There were more than 1.5 million drug arrests in 2014. More than 80% were for possession only. Almost half were for marijuana. People are finally talking about treating addiction to harder drugs as a health crisis. But there's no compassionate language about drug dealers. Unless, of course, we're talking about places like Colorado, whose state economy got a huge boost by the above-ground marijuana industry. A few states south in Louisiana, they're still handing out mandatory sentences for people who sell weed. Despite a booming and celebrated 50 billion legal marijuana industry, most states still disproportionately hand out mandatory sentences to black and Latinos with drug cases. If you're entrepreneurial and live in one of the many states that are passing legalized laws, you may still face barriers participating in the above-ground economy. Venture capitalists migrate to these states to open multi-billion-dollar operations, but former felons can't open a dispensary. Lots of times those felonies were drug charges, caught by poor people who sold drugs for a living, but are now prohibited from participating in one of the fastest-growing economies. Got it? In states like New York, where holding marijuana is no longer grounds for arrest, police issue possession citations in black and Latino neighborhoods at a far higher rate than other neighborhoods. Kids in Crown Heights are constantly stopped and ticketed for trees. Kids at dorms in Columbia, where rates of marijuana use are equal to or worse than those in the hood, are never targeted or ticketed. Rates of drug use are as high as they were when Nixon declared this so-called war in 1971. 45 years later, it's time to rethink our policies and laws. The war on drugs is an epic fail.
Yo, it's the Tim King Live Show. I'm your host, Timbo King, with special guest Vinny from the Bronx. So, yo, Vinny, let me ask you a question. Out of all the artists that you produced, what's your favorite track and why?
That's funny, because I don't got a favorite track, man.
You don't have no...
I kind of like everything I do, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not... I don't
particular...
even be biased, yeah. Ain't nothing particular. I just like good music, man. So,
okay.
I haven't got like, yo, that's my favorite. Like, I just like everything, man. You know?
So is it a certain sound that you created that you call your idolized music? Like what you known for? Your bass lines, you're known for your drums, or you're known for your theme music? What are Vinny Idol? When you hear Vinny Idol track, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's Vinny Idol.
I guess when people think of Vinny Idol now, they expect to hear more like street, something hard. You know what I'm saying?
So the drums.
Yeah, hard drums. You know what I'm saying? Some, sample.
The Vinny Idol tracks that I was
excited.
listening to, you got some good bass lines, man. Some good heavy bass lines.
Nah, we got a killer one together too, man.
Yeah.
We had a
You know how
killer
to throw that in there.
You know?
From Babylon to Timbuktu, War Dance produced by Vinny Idol with RZA on there. You know how to throw that on there.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but so yo, Vinny, what's your next project you got right now? You coming out with a compilation album? Is it Vinny Idol production? What are you doing right now?
But I'm working everything out now. Like, I'm about to start really focusing on the merch part. You know what I'm saying? Doing Vinny Idol kits, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like drum kits?
Yeah,
like
drum kits, yeah, loop packages, stuff like
that's
that,
hot.
We already got distribution, so I mean, it's like, if we want to drop something, we could do something tomorrow.
Anytime you want to.
You know what I'm saying? You got the Microphone Terrorists, they out right now. You got Hattie Racks, you got Shooter.
Nice.
50 Chips. I mean, it's just a whole list of people that's just making moves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, with Vinny Idol production?
Yeah, Vinny Idol, yeah. Behind me, just like that.
Okay, in the state of hip hop right now, what do you think? You feel it's neutral, it's fair, it's wrong, is it right? How you feel about hip hop right now?
That's a good question. I mean, because it's kind of 50-50 with me. You know what I'm saying?
Because you come from a real era.
Yeah, but I also understand the new time too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we knew this was coming anyway. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'd rather the old era, not because of the music wise, just because of the business wise part. You know what I'm saying? There was more to offer. You know what I'm saying?
You mean more to offer then than now?
Yeah. Then I mean, now you can make yourself a star easily because social network. But think about it, even as a producer, you kind of missing out because there was times where you was just getting paid just to cut a demo with the label if they was thinking about signing an artist. You know what I'm saying? You was getting paid. Yeah, you was getting paid to do stuff like that.
Y'all wouldn't know nothing about artist development right now.
Nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't know nothing about that.
You think that's what's needed though?
Yeah.
Because a lot of artists is. Not to, you know what I'm saying, bring no artists down, but a lot of materials sound the same. So if they had artist development like they had back then, now, they'd be like, no, you can't come out with that. That sound like Joe Smart.
Well, I don't want to get too political about it, you know what I'm saying, because, I still be in the loop a little bit. But it's all about, it has to be total clean house. You know what I'm saying? Because when you even got some A&Rs who want that same sound thinking they're going to win because of the other person's winning. So when you even got the A&R's ears saying, yo, I need you to sound like this, or they bringing you a record that sounds like that.
Do they do that still?
Yeah. Just come on, look at all the records that's out, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I don't never hear nobody talking about the A&R or...
I mean, because they're not really too relevant, but they're there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The A&R within the camp of the
crew. Within the camp. You know what I'm saying? The big major A&R is only worried about, you know what I'm saying, when it's going to be done, what's popping, and you know what I'm saying? The music part is up to the artist and, what they doing. But, I mean, it is what it is. If you win for that, then, But, like us, we for the culture, too. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's 50-50 with me. I understand it. You know what I'm saying?
So you feel you're a survivor of the culture or the music business? Because I look at myself as, I've been in the music business years, months, and days. But I survived and I survived within the culture.
To
The music
both.
business is a second, a whole different level.
Yeah, that's a whole other level, a whole
You know what
other
I'm saying?
world.
The culture-wise, you know what I mean? The music,
Yeah.
the fashion, how can I say it? The film.
Yeah.
So you surround yourself in those avenues?
Exactly, both. Yeah, you got to surround yourself actually
Any
both.
soundtracks?
Yeah. You know, I did soundtracks. We was doing that before the records. Like, I was
Okay.
doing The Wire, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
HBO, The Making of Rome. I even had
Nice.
commercials. Like, I got jingles, McDonald's, Sleepy's.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? All
So I
type
can hear
of things.
Vinny Idol somewhere.
See, but you ain't going to hear the stamp because you already know, you ain't going to hear that Vinny Idol on it.
All right,
but,
all
you know, it's definitely, you know, the paperwork and the checks coming, man. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely official, you know?
So what's your social media? What's your handle so the people can get at
The
you?
Real Vinny Idol. That's at everything, man. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. Snap, whatever. The Real Vinny Idol.
So what's your information to give to a new producer or new talent out there? What you got to tell them, as far as production-wise, if they want to get in the game or if they're in the game? You know, some advice from Vinny Idol.
I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, if you already kind of winning, I can't tell you really nothing like that. But I mean, to survive, I would
get
say,
a Vinny Idol track.
yeah,
Keep winning.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I would just say, you know, stay 50-50 with it, man. You know, get into the culture, man. Do your history and everything. You know what I'm saying?
It's a must. Facts.
Yeah, and do all of that because it's gonna go back to that. You're gonna run out of, you know what I'm saying, just tinkle sounds. You're gonna have to go back to the foundation of the sound. You know what I'm saying? It's what's so long. You know, it happened before us. So, you know what I'm saying? This is nothing new.
So who was your influences besides production-wise, like music, when you growing up, when you was raised, who you was listening to?
I mean, well, our time, we had a whole bunch of, like, you know, I was just influenced really by whoever Sonic was crazy at that time. And really, I mean, you know, you had Marley Marl, who was, to me, was like the god of them all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had Marley Marl, you had Pete Rock, you had Primo, you know what I'm saying? And RZA got on the scene. You know what I'm saying? You just had different, you know what I'm saying? Lord Finesse, Showbiz,
Lord Finesse,
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Diamond D, Buck Wild. It was like a whole bunch of dudes I just like the sound. You know what I'm saying? I just like whoever's doing something. And I was into looking at the credits. You know what I'm saying? See
That's
who's
another
producing.
thing. These, how can I say it? These new teenagers now don't know nothing about credits. They just know about the record.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
we was raised off of credits. We knew where the record was recorded, who
Yeah,
engineered
we
it.
was looking for that, exactly.
That's the tangible part of having something physical.
Yeah.
What do you think about Target and Best Buy shutting down CDs for the top of 2019? I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's a tough one, but I mean, you know, like I said, it's just the times, man. The digital times, is, you know, it's just with it right now. I knew that was coming because when I go look for CDs, it was getting smaller and smaller.
Okay.
So, you know.
But vinyl is big. Big up to vinyl, and the percentage of vinyls is going up. So
Yeah, definitely.
all you artists and all you producers, you know, vinyls is a big step too.
Yeah, definitely becoming a little limited editions. They're going. You know what I'm saying? People want vinyls again. That's about it.
Yo, man, it's an honor and a pleasure for you to come by, man, and stop by the Tim King live show, man. I wish we had more time, but you know how it is, man.
We set up another one, man. I'm coming out
Vinny Idol.
earlier, man. I need the whole
Super
show.
producer, King of Beatz.
Yes, sir.
Vinny, most definitely. We could play one of your videos right now. We can go to one of Vinny Idol produced track video, man. Name a video that you did that you produced, and we could throw it on right now.
Man, go to Fred the Godson. She
Fred
called
the
me
Godson.
God. Yeah, she called me God.
She called me God.
Yeah.
Fred the Godson. She called me God. Produced by Vinny Idol, King of Beatz.
Yes, sir.
Tim King live.
Yo.
One. I don't care if you young, old, just coming out, coming back out. The record. If you ain't got that record, always about the record. At 21, I admit I was a savage until I got knowledge of self-mathematics. I could get the cash, I just need my money managed. Why go in the stash? I got plugs out in Paris. You know what it's like to have a record and you winning. Lifestyle change, fresh start, new beginnings. It's not just you, your whole team. What a feeling.